Hi, hello and welcome, and you've seen it in the title, another part of Ellamas, and today I will be doing my no-buy introduction. Yes, I'm on a no-buy officially since December 1st. I just want to talk a bit about that, and I want to tell you why I'm on a no-buy. And my lashes are stuck together on this eye. This is so fucking annoying. My friend Diana from the Instagram channel Blush Fanatic and we are very, very passionate about makeup. We are those kinds of people that will send us each other the photos, the releases, the shit of indie brands, of all the sparkles, of all the glitter, of all the very exciting things. And then we kind of justify each other why we need that. At some point before Black Friday started, we kind of realized this has gotten out of hand a bit, and we decided that we will do a no-buy together starting officially December 1st, and that will last until the end of March. So in total, a 4-month long no-buy. This is going to be hard, but I'm also looking forward to. So let me just tell you something about me and my collection. I am a person that does use shopping as a coping mechanism towards stressful moments, or when I'm sick, or when I have headaches, or when I can't sleep, which has gotten a bit out of hand. I want to give a little bit of a warning because I kind of sense a bit of controversy now coming right in, because I want to be very, very transparent. And for that, I will be telling you now how many products I do have in each category and how much money all of this makeup collection is worth. Because I don't want to brag or so. I think this is just dumb. This is not bragging. This is about being very transparent with myself, and I want to also make a public announcement. I want to hold myself accountable now for what I say, because I might need you after some You Don't Need That Shit videos to tell me, what the fuck are you talking about, Ella? You are on a no-buy, so get the fuck off your credit card. Diana and we kind of allowed us some Black Friday shopping so that we can stock up on some things. And let me just tell you what is not included in these numbers, because as I'm filming this on November 28th, this has just not arrived. I have 2 cosmic brushes orders coming in because I was not able to decide whether or not I want to get the Gothic palette, so I ordered the Winter Wonderland and the Gothic in 2 different orders. They should They should arrive either this week as I'm filming this or next week when you see this no-buy intro. Then I do have a ColourPop order that I did on the Black Weekend, kind of, because you might have seen my story with Glamlight and what happened. And I girl-mathed myself, basically saying, okay, now I have those $200 from Glamlight back, so when I order now for $200 on ColourPop, it's basically free. Actually, it was not free. I still spent $200, but it's too late now. I got it. Then I also placed an order on Gloss Gods Cosmetics with their new First Girl collection. I ordered 2 palettes there, and I also do have a Yes Style order and a Cleonette order coming in. So this is a lot of stuff. So a lot of these palettes, a lot of the singles, whatever, are not included in my list. And I have it open here on my iPad. You know, I do track everything in Excel spreadsheets, and so I do have a full makeup collection spreadsheet with different pages like primer, foundation, blah, 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 blah. And then I also do have a counter page. On that counter, I just count how many items I have in these different categories. Then I have a counter, what is it all worth? Because I do write down also in my spreadsheet what I paid for these. And then I also have a finish counter. What did I declutter? What did I use up? And how much items is it in total? And maybe after I read you these numbers, you understand a bit more why I'm on a no-buy. My problem is, I want to fall back in love with the makeup that I own. I like trying new makeup, don't get me wrong. I will forever love this, and I'm actually looking forward already to the end of the no-buy, because during that no-buy, I want to write down and track all the purchases I would have done. And I want to see by the end of March, or like beginning of April then, how much of these items do I still want to have? Or did it kind of like slow down, and was it really just the first hype that got me so interested, which happens to me with a lot of items, to be honest. I also, and I know this sounds a bit weird, but I want to fall back in love with beauty YouTube. The thing is, since I started doing videos or like doing this whole content creation, and those fucking lashes, they are driving me insane. What the fuck is wrong with you? I'm sorry. Since I started doing content creation with makeup, I stopped watching a lot of beauty YouTube because, for example, when I saw the Huda Pretty Grunt was coming, or the Oden's Eye release, or whatever, it doesn't matter what it is, I don't want to be biased. I don't want to influence myself with the review of another content creator. And once I'm done with my review, I'm kind of not interested in watching their reviews anymore. For whatever reason. It has nothing to do with the creator. It's just like, meh, I've seen it now, I've seen it myself, so I don't need more inspiration or whatever. I want to fall back in love with watching beauty YouTube and just admire something from afar. Because just because it looks good on Angelica Nyquist or on Morgan Turner does not mean that I have to have it. I can probably create the same looks with one of the, 148 eyeshadow palettes that I have here. So let's just now go through the plain numbers, and again, please don't take this as bragging. This is just my way of opening my own eyes. And maybe it helps you to open your eyes too. It can be very intimidating to see the plain numbers of stuff that you actually have. Because if you're like me, you have maybe old Alex drawers that you store your makeup in, and you just maybe do not see the number. Oh, and by the way, the numbers that we are going to talk about first are just numbers of products that I have opened. I will talk about my guilty pleasure backup drawer after that. I have currently opened 18 face primers and 7 eye primers. Those 7 eye primers also include like glitter glues and stuff. Yeah, no excuse. On the setting spray train, I'm very good. I have opened 2 at the moment. One is for really setting the face. The other one is my MAC Fix Plus that I just use for spraying brushes, or sometimes I use a finishing spray. I do have currently opened, oh my god, 23 foundations. I usually wear makeup for about 20 to 22 days in a month. So even if I would rotate through every foundation the whole month, I will not be able to use every foundation at least once a month. So this is definitely a category that even after the Novi, I technically do not need more makeup. And to just show you how bad it is with my foundations, my Chantecaille Future Skin that I love to death expired. It smelled like fucking paint mid-year. And do you know what I did? I decluttered it and repurchased a new one. I didn't need that, but I wanted to have it in my collection. That's just something I really have to work on. I have currently opened 18 different concealer. That does include my pot concealer and my under eye correctors too. One of my pot concealers is nearly empty, which is really nice. And I also have the Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener in that category, which is a thing that I just use up every 3 to 4 months. So that's kind of in a rotation all the time, but the others, it's just too much. And yes, I do sniff all of them before I use them because they can go bad, but they're doing fine. I do have currently opened 17 face powders. That does include finishing powders too, which are only 4, so 13 setting powders. The thing with powder is, first of all, it holds up forever. So even if you use your powder like once in 5 years, it will not go bad. And I am very good with powders. Just a little number for you. I used up this year 2 face powders and 2 under eye setting powders. And I'm about to use up my 3rd face powder of this year. So I do use them up, so that's a number I can live with because I really like to rotate through that. For my under eye setting powders, I do have 10 currently opened, which actually I'm quite fine with that. I don't have a problem. I just love the variation of the different finishes and the colors. You know, I have lavender powders, pink powders, translucent powders. Some have colors, some are like dry or like mattifying, some are not. That's category like powders in general, I'm fine with. In my collection are 18 powder blushes and 36 cream and liquid blushes. The powder blushes are fine. I don't feel overwhelmed by that, but I feel overwhelmed with the cream blushes. The thing is, I just did my Declutter series and you see the parts on different days throughout the December. I cannot let go of them. So for example, I just, in those 36 blushes that are cream and liquids, I have 10 Rare Beauty shades. Do I need all 10? No, but I collect them. I have each 13 powder bronzers and 13 cream bronzers, and highlight is also a bit wild. I have 13 liquid or cream highlighters, which I'm actually surprised there is that much, but I have 23 powder highlights. Let's talk about face palettes. I do have 26 different face palettes, and I have to say face palette for me is also a blush duo. Everything that has more than one pan in the compact for me counts as a face palette, mainly for storage reasons. Therefore, 26 face palettes, and in those 26 face palettes, I have 106 single pans of blush, highlight, and contour and bronzer shades. I have 20 liquid eyeshadows. In the beginning of the year, I did not have one single liquid eyeshadow. I just started trying them out in the summer, and then I was like, okay, I started with the Pat McGrath liquid eyeshadows because they had a good 40 or 30% off deal for the whole set, and I was like, okay, I want to get into the liquid eyeshadow vibe. I wanted that, like, I really, really wanted that. Then Rabanne came out, then I wanted to try new looks, so I bought the About Face ones, then I had a Beauty Bay set coming in that also had liquid eyeshadow. Then I grabbed some of the Danessa Myricks Infinite Chrome Flakes in the pot that are like cream to liquid eyeshadows. And so I accumulated 20 of them. Do you know when it was the last time that I used a liquid eyeshadow? Actually, when I filmed it last weekend, because I filmed my winter look that you will see. When will the winter look be up? Between Christmas and New Year's Eve. I like having them, but I'm also aware of the fact that this is a big waste because I barely use them. I barely grab them. So I wanna explore them more. Therefore, in the no-buy, I wanna use this stuff just more. I wanna explore the possibilities of a liquid eyeshadow. I love the Rabanne color shots that came out this year. They are amazeballs. I've used them only once or twice. So the eyeliner category is a bit weird, and this number is a bit, it seems to be more shocking than it is, because in my spreadsheet I count 50 eyeliners. In this category, it's not only single like stick eyeliners or kohl kajal things, because this is not as much. I'm also counting every single shade of cake liner that I own. And I have 3 Suva Beauty palettes, I have 2 Glisten Cosmetic palettes, and I have the full collection, besides the black, from Lethal Cosmetics from their cake liners. These shades counted as a single. So for example, the Glisten Cosmetics one are the rounds that have like 5 stripes of color. I counted every color as a single eyeliner, therefore it's 50. And let me tell you, that number will rise very, very high, because in the ColourPop sale I got the Kohl Kajal, the cream liner vault, that's what the name is. I have currently opened 10 different mascara. 4 of them are black mascara and the mascara primer, and I do layer them, so that's fine to me. And the other 6 are my colored mascara and the glitter top coat from Rabanne that I have. In the brow category, I currently have opened 9 different things that do include 1 eye pencil, 1 brow definer, 1 brow powder compact. I have 3 different brow gels that I just like to rotate through depending on how kind of crusty I want my brows are. I know that sounds a bit weird, but I also do have a brow pomade still in this drawer, and I also have my brow freeze. I'm just not ready mentally to declutter them. That's why I still keep them, and I have now 9 brow things. I have 70 lip liners, which I'm actually fine with because I really enjoy them all, but the lip category is wild because I have 56 different lip glosses and lipsticks. We are talking about a makeup collection that has a worth, if you buy it today, of €20,643.16. I am a bit overwhelmed by this number, and it just shows me a no buy is really a good step for me. But let's talk about the backup drawer. I have 13 different items that are kind of in the brow category. Like, I don't think that this is a bad thing actually, because like brow wizzes, I go through them every 2 months and I stock up on them during the holiday season. That's no problem. I have 2 different concealer type products. One of them is a backup of my Rare Beauty Under Eye Brightener, and the other one is the Becca brightener that I bought on a sale, so that's fine. I have 2 different eyeliners that are still used, 1 highlighter, 2 lid primer, 1 lipstick, and now let's count them, 22 mascara. In my backup drawer are 22 unopened mascaras. I mean, I go through mascara a lot since I have 4 black ones currently open and I layer them constantly, so that's nice. And I have to also say that out of those 22 mascaras, I think like 10 are mini sample sizes. But I really need to use them up. I have 2 powders in that backup drawer and 15 different primers. 15 primers that are unused. Some of them are sitting in that drawer since a year or more. That's why I didn't want to open more primer when I tested like with different foundation and stuff. I'm happy with the number of primers that I'm open. I'm currently working on using up some of those primers so that I can dig into my backup drawer. And now for setting spray, I have 8 unopened in the backup drawer, which is fine to me because I just purchased these like a month ago or so because I was running low on the setting spray. And this is just a category. I go through setting spray every 1 to 2 months. So the one that I currently have opened, my Charlotte Tilbury one, this is a mini size and this will be empty by the end of December, the latest. I think this will be empty mid-December and then I can just grab a new one. But I also want to mention that throughout the whole year of 2023 or until now as I'm filming this, I have used up 49 different makeup items, which is a big accomplishment. And I used up 4 primers, 7 setting sprays, 1 foundation, 2 concealers, 2 face powders, 2 under eye setting powders, 1 cream highlighter, yes I did it, 16 mascara, 1 lip liner and 4 lipsticks. And the year is not over yet. Like, I do have in my empties bag for December already another brow pencil. You know, this is just something that I go through on a regular basis. Oh, I forgot a category. I skipped that in my numbers because I wanted to mention it the last, so let's mention it at last. Eyeshadow palettes. As I said, this is without the palettes that are still on the way to me, that are still in delivery, but as of today, I have my shelf over here. I have 148 eyeshadow palettes that contain 2,246 single pans. In the beginning of the year, I was like, okay, I don't want to have more than 100 eyeshadow palettes. And I think by the end of this year, I will end up with 160 palettes. Sadly, not all 160 will be ranked, mainly for the reason because some of them arrive so late. At that moment when they arrive, the filming will already be done for the palette ranking. So to end this video, I just want to say, I don't feel bad about my collection. It is an overwhelming number of products, and this is definitely nothing a single person needs. This is a hobby for me. Some people are collecting like miniature cars, some people are collecting Lego sets, some people are collecting like baseball cards and basketball cards. I collect makeup. 20,000 euro is a lot of money for makeup, and that also means that I spend 20,000 euro. The no buy is here to focus on what I have, to enjoy these 20,000 euro. And I really want to fall back and laugh with some of those items that I haven't touched in a while. For example, I do have in an Excel spreadsheet the palettes that I used. That will also be an Ellamas video. I will go through that Excel spreadsheet and tell you for every palette how much I used it. It's going to be a fun video to have categories where it's like, oh, only once, because I touched some of these palettes only once this year. For the ranking, it does not change my opinion because with a lot of palettes, I would say 95% of my collection, I can have a strong opinion after one use, because when I used them the very first time, I try to incorporate as many shades as possible. And I also do not count uses when I practice. I do have one of those silicone eye things where I practice. I don't count this as a use in my Excel spreadsheet, but I will go in that in depth for the video when it's coming. But I also want to fall back in love with duping, because in the beginning of the year or even last year, I duped whole palettes on my Instagram channel, and I want to bring that duping vibe here to YouTube, so that maybe you, who's also very interested in, for example, the newest release of the January or the February Natasha Denona palette, and you're like, yeah, but I cannot afford this palette for 70 bucks. No, let's dupe it together. Let's see what we can create, so maybe we can do a better palette than Natasha Denona ever could have thought of. I want to fall back in love with what I have. I want to use up some of the items, and I'm thinking of bringing back like the baskets. On Instagram, I did that a very long time this year. I think about 5 or 6 months even, where I had monthly baskets or like weekly baskets even. So maybe that's also something very interesting, to just choose 5 items that I want to focus on for a month or so. And then at the end of the month, I will give you a review on that basket, and I will curate the new ones. I have to be honest, I'm a bit afraid of your reactions, because I am fully aware of the fact that this is a massive collection. But again, I don't feel bad for that. I like this collection, I enjoy it. I'm looking forward to the packages that are yet to arrive, but I'm also looking forward to the no-buy. Feel free to join our no-buy. It is going to be a good time. The You Don't Need That Shit videos will change for that. You are happily welcome in the no-buy club. Don't forget to subscribe, otherwise you will miss the cool videos of Ellamas that I have planned, because Ellamas is going until December 31st, so a lot of videos. I have a playlist also collected of all the videos that have already been up, and I will see you tomorrow.